Hello, beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for November 2025. Okay, we're already at the end of the year, but we're still in Scorpio season, and there's a lot of Scorpio energy out there. So there's a lot of reveal. You know, Scorpio is mysterious, but the revealing of the false truths are coming out in the open. So just be aware that, you know, the untruths, the lies, the underhanded hate is showing up. And that way, that energy can be dealt with. We have a full moon that's coming up on the 5th, and it's a super full moon, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is about agriculture and about finances. But here in the U.S., we can see the breakdown of our governmental system and the those people who are in need of extra help for food and subsidy. So that is opening up and crumbling out into the open. But then on a personal note, those who are those people who have been deceitful, deceiving, and out to hide their feelings towards another person is coming out in the open. Okay, and that energy that's coming out has to be dealt with. Okay, so that's the purpose of it being shown. That's why the veil is thin now, so that each individual can see what it is that you're doing and what it is that has been done to you. Now, those people who have been done to, you'll get to see how this karmic energy plays out, because all of that negative energy that has been thrown at you by, you know, people you don't know, is being returned to sender. Okay, and it's once it's returned to its sender, it has to be dealt with. Okay, so anyway, as I said before, this is your monthly reading for November. Now, as we get into the month, we have Mars entering Sagittarius on the 4th. And we have that super full moon on the 5th. And Venus moves into Scorpio on the 6th. Uranus is retrograding back to Taurus at that 29 degrees on the 7th. And Mercury turns retrograde in Sagittarius on the 9th. Jupiter turns retrograde in Cancer on the 11th. Mercury turns retrograde, I just said that. The new moon in Scorpio is at 28 degrees, and that's on the 19th. And Saturn in Pisces is stationing direct on the 27th, and then Mercury turns direct on the 29th. So with all of the retrogrades that are happening now, this is turning you inward to look at those areas in your life that needs to be refurbished or cleansed, I will say. Okay, Now, a lot of you may not be ready to face your fears because that's exactly what's happening in this Scorpio energy. It's a lot of fear-based energy that is showing up. But when you face your fears and you deal with what it is that's coming up for you, then over time, you'll be able to take a step up in your vibration. So, with all of this energy happening, especially with Uranus, it is like an electric energy where things happen all of a sudden. But while it's in retrograde, it won't act as fast as it would normally act if it was in its forward motion. So I just want to say that those people who are out there who are trying to hurt, cause pain, trauma to another person, all of that is coming back to you. And a lot of times people cannot take what they dish out. They can't handle it. So are you ready to handle what you are dishing out? That is up to you. And now it's time for me to get into the forecast for the month. So I will see you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Aries risings out there. This is your monthly forecast for November 2025, and we're so close to the end of the year and starting a new one. So let's get into your forecast for the month. Now on 11/3, right out the gate, we have Mars in Scorpio, and it's trining Neptune. And this is a really good aspect. It's happening in your 8th house of transformation, other people's resources, or your shared resources, I must say. Psychological issues, psychic abilities, taxes, debts. And other people's money. I think I mentioned that. Okay, so with this happening, Neptune in Pisces, and this is in your 12th house. So the trines are with your 8th house and your 12th house. And both of these houses are hidden houses where you do a lot of unconscious work. And this is a great time for, you being more imaginative and finding new ways to heal yourself, like different healing modalities, because your healing ability is going to be heightened here. Your psychic abilities as well, because your actions and your desires are intuitively guided by a compassionate, imaginative, or a spiritual perspective here. You may experience natural healing abilities, psychic abilities, and a talent for transforming your personal or collective pain into wisdom or art. Okay, so there's that transformation energy happening, especially turning pain into something that is healing and useful. Okay, your instincts may guide you in understanding your subconscious motives, and a gift for helping others navigate transformation and healing. So again, the 8th house is also about death and rebirth, of course. So you could be transforming your energy into a higher frequency. And when you get into these two houses together, you are really tapped in. Okay? So use this energy to your advantage and trust your gut. All right, so on the 4th, we have Mars moving out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius. And this is happening in your 11th house. And your 11th house is about, a wider group of friends, organizations, memberships, and your hopes and wishes, as well as some good luck through your friendship connections. Okay, so this is a time when you energetically pursue your social and long term goals. Whatever those goals are for you, you are taking a look at, what you want to create for yourself. And it's driven by idealism, adventure, because we're talking about that Sagittarius energy is enthusiasm. And, this a forward thinking energy and desire for brighter horizons. There is an emphasis on collaborative actions with your social groups, innovation with your group settings, and the urge to break from routine or conventional approaches, favoring bold initiatives and shared experiences. Okay, so that is, a lively, energetic energy here that this Mars and Sagittarius is showing up for you. So on that same day, we also have Mars in Sagittarius in opposition to retrograde Uranus in the sign of Gemini. And this is affecting your 11th house and your 3rd house. Again, your 11th house is about large group of friendships, organizations, and your 3rd house is about your community, where you live, your siblings, your neighbors, and communication as well. Short-term travel is also a part of that 3rd house energy. So you may experience conflict between your social goals with your large groups and your immediate mental environment, which is, your local area. That may cause unexpected challenges in how you communicate with your immediate surroundings or your siblings versus how you pursue your larger social ambitions. And Uranus is retrograde, so it's turning inward and it's slowing things down, so you won't experience that sudden spark of change happening all of a sudden with Uranus right now by it being in retrograde. So this is a time to do some introspection and reflect on how you feel about your immediate environment, your siblings, how is that communication happening for you? And, this is a way for you to gauge what you need to do going forward, because it is affecting your 11th house of larger groups and your 3rd house of small groups. Plus, it includes your siblings as well, and your neighbors, and your old friends, okay? So, there's a lot of reflection that can happen that you can grow from here. Okay, on the 5th, we have the full moon in Taurus, and this is happening in your 2nd house. And this is, a good placement for Taurus because Taurus rules this 2nd house. And this full moon is a super full moon, and Taurus is all about stability. It's a fixed sign, and it's it's slow to make change is what Taurus is all about. It's also about agriculture and banking, finances, self-worth, okay, and possessions and the things that you value. So you may feel prompted to release or shift your relationships with your money patterns right now. Resource management and material attachments are something that you are looking at and, you know, taking the steps to let go or not have such a strong hold to. Okay, it's a time to examine your spending habits, confront any limiting beliefs about money and your self-worth, and consider what really brings you emotional security here and stability beyond your material possessions. So what really makes you happy, when you strip away, the material? What is it that's for you to contemplate? So on the 6th, we have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, and it's trining retrograde Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Now, this is affecting your 4th house of home, real estate, your physical place, and your family life. Real estate is also a part of the 4th house, and your ancestral roots, and your parents as well. Now it's trining the 12th house, and the 12th house is about the unconscious, places to retreat. It's about hidden enemies as well, and karmic debts. And with the subconscious lays, past life information, old patterns, unconscious ways of doing things sit here. And this is a good place to be right now because, this purge that is happening during this month is allowing you to recognize and touch on and release, what no longer serves you here. Okay, so you may be inclined to do some inner work and start to connect with your higher self, finding joy and growth in places related to home and family, and receiving support on a deep psychological level as well. Reconciling past emotional or familial issues through your spiritual insights or solitude is also highlighted here. Okay, so this is a place of retreat, where you can sit back and really check in with your higher self. Aries rising. So on that same day, we have Venus in Scorpio squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And this is affecting your 8th house of transformation, other people's resources, debt, finances, and things that are hidden as well. And your 4th house of home, okay? Your comfort zone, your family, and your lineage. Okay, this is a powerful and complex time for your relationships and emotional matters because, of course, we have Cancer and then again we have Venus. And there's a lot of water energy in this month as well that is going to be affecting us on an emotional level. So you are encouraged to address intense emotional issues related to shared resources, family, and home dynamics, urging transformation, and while nurturing those qualities needed for emotional growth and stability. Okay? So just know that, you might be feeling out of sorts, because I know I have been, and my my forecasts are out late because I've just been, my body, I've been feeling all of this heavy, intense energy. And with Scorpio around, you're going to feel this intenseness, you know, and so it's been hard for me. And each time I look at the forecast of any sign, I am being affected by it. So I'm doing my best to get through this for the month, even though, it's not easy. But I've taken off my mask and I am giving you the best that I got right now. Okay? So we have, let's see. On the 7th, we have Uranus in retrograde, okay, and it moves back into Taurus. And this is happening in your second house. So during this time, your focus may be on reevaluating and potentially breaking free from old financial habits, security measures, and value systems that no longer serve your growth or authenticity may be strong right now, okay? That is your focus, is strong right now. You may experience sudden shifts or surprises related to your income, possessions, or financial opportunities, which may include gains or losses, okay? So on the 9th, we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, and this is happening in your 9th house. And your 9th house is about your spiritual belief, your philosophical belief system, your religion, your faith, other cultures, long distance travel, teaching, and publishing is also here. Okay, your father is also a prominent figure, in the 9th house at times. So you may find yourself reflecting on your beliefs, higher knowledge, travel, and philosophy. You may find yourself rethinking or revising your understanding of your own personal or spiritual truths, educational pursuits, and your worldviews. Okay? Your communication and thought process may be more introspective because of the Mercury retrograde. You tap in and analytical with the risk of understanding or delays associated with matters of belief, education, or foreign affairs. Okay? Okay. So, just so you know, that too shall pass. And we also have a Mercury Cazimi exact this month. So there will be some moments of clarity for you during this retrograde, okay? So we have Jupiter turning retrograde in Cancer in your 4th house. So during this time, that's my neighbor. They just keep slamming and hitting walls, just very rude people. But I'm trying to endure. Okay? So during this time, you may have a strong focus on your emotional intelligence, compassion, and inner growth. It may be a time to revisit, reassess, and make amends in family dynamics or your personal roots. During this time, your approach may be slower and thoughtful, Cancer energy. And it may bring some challenges in communication and care from loved ones. However, this transit ultimately offers you a chance for deep healing and strengthening of your home and your emotional support system. Okay, so who is around you in your home space is a part of that system. So on the 19th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and this is at 28 degrees, so this is at a critical point as well. And this is happening in your eighth house. And we already discussed the meaning of the eighth house. So this is an ideal time for doing some shadow work, going within, finding out what is hurting you or what pains you and working on releasing that. And this is about old wounds as well, and setting intentions for emotional empowerment and financial renewal. Though it may feel intense and challenging due to the square's activating energy, whenever, there is change, there is some pain to go along with that. So just let things go and give to yourself, okay? Pamper yourself because that brings more positivity into your being. The more you love you, the more you can be loved. Okay? So on the 20th, we have, this is about the Kazemi, but I'm not going to speak on that because Mercury is Kazemi often with the sun because it's so close to the sun. Wherever the sun moves, Mercury is close by. So on the 22nd, but just remember you'll have moments of clarity. On the 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius in your ninth house. And this is about your higher belief systems, philosophy, spirituality, and we've already talked about that. So this energy makes you more optimistic, practical, and innovative in your approach to situations that has to do with the ninth house, okay? Long distance travel, other cultures, teaching, publishing, writing, things of that nature. Your confidence and luck may be enhanced, so take advantage of this time, making it a good time to pursue goals and embrace constructive actions, especially those related to spiritual growth or your intellectual pursuits. So on the 27th, we have Saturn stationed direct in Pisces, and this is happening in your 12th house, okay? So whenever there's a station direct, that means that the energy that has been hidden is being brought up to the surface. And when it's brought to the surface and you can identify it, then you can work on letting go of the energy, okay? So this transit indicates a turning point from a time of intensified inner work, karmic reckonings, and spiritual challenges towards taking constructive action built on these lessons, okay? Whatever you've learned, you can utilize it in a positive way. This transit may also bring up deep-seated fears, feelings of isolation, and the need for self-discipline in managing your boundaries, especially around emotional or psychic sensitivity. It's a time to face and release your old psychological burdens, embrace solitude for healing, and cultivate strength through compassion and forgiveness. Now, the good thing about this influence is that Saturn is here. And with Saturn, Saturn tends to ground us and keep us from going kind of crazy. It keeps us grounded in reality, is what I was trying to get at. So, with Saturn being here, keeping you grounded in reality, and Pisces can kind of take us out of bounds, but you have the right stuff to go ahead and address these issues. Even though it's going to be fear, you can work through the fear because Saturn is keeping you grounded in reality. So just a heads up there. So the last thing I'm going to speak on is Mercury turning direct in the sign of Scorpio, and this is happening in your 8th house, which is positive, where you can speak to your significant others, about, you can communicate clearly about those things that are related to the 8th house, especially your financial situation, your shared resources, and your family or your parents and other people's money. Okay? Inheritances. Those are things that are opened up to you, and you have the right frame of mind to address the information. Okay, Aries Rising, this is your forecast for November 2025. And until next time, bye for now.